Okay. In the last class, I was talking about the reciprocal equation. So I discussed what we mean by a reciprocal equation of first type or first class and a reciprocal equation of second type or second class. So when the coefficients from the starting and from the end are both equal in magnitude as well as in sign, or that means they have the same sign, then we say that that is a reciprocal equation of first type. And if the coefficients from the beginning and from the end are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign, then we say that that is the reciprocal equation of second kind or second type. So uh, there is one more necessary and sufficient condition to check whether the system, whether a equation is a reciprocal equation or not a reciprocal equation. So one way you know that what you do, you write down the coefficients, you check the coefficient from the starting and from the end, and you can do it. But another necessary and sufficient condition to be a reciprocal equation is given by this particular theorem. So what is the theorem? If fx equals to 0 be a reciprocal equation of first type, okay, let me write first, of degree n and of the first type then fx can be written like this: fx equals to x to the power n f of 1 by x. Okay, and conversely, the converse is also true. So conversely, if fx be a polynomial of degree n and fx equals to x to the power n f of 1 by x. So if any polynomial of degree n can be written in this form, then fx equals to 0 is a reciprocal equation of the first type. So this theorem gives us a necessary and sufficient condition to be a reciprocal equation of first type. So the proof is extremely simple. I'll do the proof. Okay. So first we will assume fx is a reciprocal equation of degree n and of the first type, then we'll prove this. So let's prove the green sentence first of all, a green statement. So let's prove. The proof goes like this, just using the definition and logic. Okay, so let me write all those things. So let me give fx a form. So fx equals to a0 x to the power n plus a1 x to the power n minus 1 plus dot dot an is the last term. And definitely we are assuming that neither a0 nor an both are 0. None are 0, because otherwise that will a0 cannot be 0 because it is of degree n, and if an is also not 0, because if an will be 0, then x will be the root of this 0 will be the root of this equation, and hence it cannot be a reciprocal equation. So anyways, so this is definitely required, since, so what is given in the question, this is a reciprocal equation of degree n and of first type. So since fx is a reciprocal equation of the first kind, therefore what can I say, the first coefficient will be same as the last coefficient. the second coefficient will be same as the second last coefficient, and etc. The last coefficient will be same as the first coefficient. So see what I have done up to now. What is given in the question? Fx be a reciprocal equation of degree n. So I have taken an equation of degree n, and because it is a first type, reciprocal equation of first type, this must hold. Okay. Now what I have to prove? That fx can be written as x to the power n f of 1 by x. Okay. So now, what I will do, I will show that fx can be written in that form. So it is very easy to see that. Now, hold on. Fx is what? I'll write fx again, a0 x to the power n, a1 x to the power n minus 1. You can write the second last term also, an minus 1x. The last term is an. Take x to the power n common. So here I will remain with a0. Here I will remain with a1 by x. Here I will remain with a1 by a2 by x square, and so on. Then an minus 1 d by x to the power n minus 1 plus an by x to the power n. What I am doing, I am taking out x to the power n common. So as you can see, what are the things that will be remaining? That's very simple to see. Did you understand this line, everyone? Now you see, a0 can be written as an. So this is the thing that is required here. I will write a0 as an. a1 can be written as an minus 1 plus dot dot an minus 1 will be written as a1, and an will be written as a0 due to this fact. And look at the inside part, because if I put here x equals to 1 by x, what will I remain with? You just see here, if I write here 1 by x in place of x, what will I remain with? a0 by x to the power n, which is already there, you see, plus a1 by x to the power n minus 1 plus dot dot dot, last one will be an will be an, and the second last will be an minus 1 by x, because I am putting x as 1 by x. So this is nothing but f of 1 over x. So hence I have proved, if that is a reciprocal equation of first type or first kind, then this happens. Am I clear? So for the converse part, what are the things that has been given to us? If some polynomial of degree n can be written in this manner, then that must be a reciprocal equation of first type. So let's see it is true or not true. Definitely it's true. We'll see how. So again, in the same way, let's assume any polynomial of degree n. So let fx equals to a0 x to the power n plus a1 x to the power n minus 1 plus the second last term is a n minus 1 x, the last term is a n. Be a polynomial of degree n, such that fx can be written like this. Fx can be written as x to the power n f of 1 by x. Okay. So what I have to prove, that f is a reciprocal equation of first type. That means I want to show a0 is same as an, a1 is same as an minus 1, and so on. So let's see, can we show that? Very simple. What is the left hand side? Left hand side is fx. Let me write a0 x to the power n plus a1 x to the power n minus 1 plus dot plus an minus 1 x plus a0. So this is equal to, because this has been given to us, I can use this fact. Take x to the power n common. Oh, sorry. This is equal to, this is x to the power n f of 1 by x. So what is f of 1 by x? We'll just put here 1 by x. So this is what? a0 by x to the power n plus a1 by x to the power n minus 1 plus dot 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 an minus 1 by x plus an. So I have not done anything extra. This condition was given. I am putting the value of fx, x to the power n, f of 1 by x. I am putting it here. So let's see how it can be simplified further. It can easily be simplified. So the left hand side remains as it is, a0 x to the power n, a1 x to the power n minus 1, an minus 1 x plus a0. This is same as, so let's multiply by x to the power n to every term. So the first term will be, sorry, this is an, no? I made a mistake, this is an, right? So this is what, a0, I'm multiplying by x to the power n, a1 x plus dot dot dot, this will become an minus 1 x to the power n minus 1 plus an x to the power n. Now these two polynomials are equal, so comparing their coefficients, this two are exactly same. So comparing their coefficient, the coefficient of x to the power n, the coefficient of x to the power n here must be same as the coefficient of x to the power n here, which is this. The coefficient of x to the power n minus 1 is a1 and it is here an minus 1 dot dot, the coefficient, the last term is same as the first term. So showing that fx equals to 0 is a reciprocal equation of first type. So did you understand my proof? So we have now obtained a necessary and a sufficient condition to check whether a polynomial is a reciprocal equation of first type or not. Right? Just you have to just replace, if your polynomial can be written in this manner, then that is a reciprocal equation of first kind. Okay, so at times I'll be using this condition while doing the sums. Like I'll write a polynomial in this manner. If this comes same as the polynomial, then I can simply say that my equation is a reciprocal equation of first kind. So we have a similar condition or necessary and a sufficient condition to be a reciprocal equation of second kind. A very similar condition. This is the condition. If fx equals to 0, if fx equals to 0 is a polynomial of degree n and of second type right, then what happens? Then fx can be written as minus x to the power n f of 1 by x. So only one extra thing will come, minus will come, and conversely also the same thing. So conversely if fx equals to 0 or fx, okay, if fx be a polynomial, no, I made a mistake. If fx equals to 0 is an equation of degree, not polynomial, because I am taking 0, equation, reciprocal equation. Conversely, if fx be a polynomial of degree n, right, and if fx can be written as minus x to the power n f of 1 by x, then fx is a reciprocal equation of the second type. So proof left up to you, because the proof is exactly similar. Okay, So you see here, if that is a reciprocal equation of second type, then fx can be written as minus x to the power n f of 1 by x, and if some polynomial can be written like this, can be expressed like this, then that will be a reciprocal equation of second type. Okay. So now we can easily check whether my reciprocal equation is a first kind or second kind. Okay. So now we can classify our reciprocal equation, whether it is a first kind or second kind. Okay, that's good. Now the question is how to solve a reciprocal equation. So this is the question which we have to answer, and that is the last topic from this chapter, reciprocal equations. So how to solve a reciprocal equation? Is there any easy technique and so on? So is it always possible to solve a reciprocal equation? We have so many questions in our mind. So the question is how to solve a reciprocal equation. The answer is very simple. The answer is given like this. The solution to any reciprocal equation depends on that of a reciprocal equation of the first type and even degree. Of the first type and even degree. I'll tell you what is this answer. So the answer is this. Yes, it is always possible to solve a reciprocal equation, but your answer will depend upon reciprocal equation of first type and even degree. That means you give me any reciprocal equation to solve, after few steps it can be always reduced to a reciprocal equation of first type and even degree. So if you give me a reciprocal, see what are the things: first type, hold on, second type, what I'm writing, I'll tell you, odd even degree, odd degree, even degree, odd degree. So these are the four possibilities, right? Any reciprocal equation will be of first type or even degree, or first type or odd degree, or second type of even degree, or lastly second type or odd degree. These are the only four possibilities. You give me any reciprocal equation that will match with any one of the fours, right? It will be either of this form or this form or this form or this form. I should write like this, right? So you give me any reciprocal equation, it will either be of the form 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. We'll solve each kind of reciprocal equations, but the answer is that you give me any reciprocal equation, okay, it will always depend upon, it can always be reduced to first type and even degree. That means if you give me this reciprocal equation to solve, it is already a first type and even degree. Okay, all right. If you give me this reciprocal equation to solve, I'll show that it can again be reduced to first type and even degree. If you give me this to solve, again I'll show that this can always be reduced to first type and even degree, and same for this. So you give me any reciprocal equation, it can always be reduced to first type and even degree. So now the question reduces to how to solve a reciprocal equation of first type and even degree. Okay. So now I will call this as the standard form, because any of this reciprocal equation can be reduced to this one. So I will call this as a standard term. That means any reciprocal equation that is of first type and even degree will be called a standard reciprocal equation, or reciprocal equation in the standard form. Okay, and we'll see how to solve a standard form. Am I clear up to here? So this motivates the following definition, that we will give a definition. What is the definition? When will a reciprocal equation will be set in a standard form? So reciprocal equation is said to be of the standard form standard form if it is of the first type and of even degree. So why are we calling this as a standard form? Because any reciprocal equation after few steps can always be reduced to first type and that of even degree. So I will call this as a standard form. That means the first task to solve any reciprocal equation is to convert that into a standard form. After few number of steps, you always convert this into the standard form. That means you always convert that into a reciprocal equation of first type and that of even degree. Okay, and then we will answer how to solve a reciprocal equation of this in the standard form. So that we have the last question to answer, and how to solve a reciprocal equation that is in the standard form. Okay. So the next answer is given like this. So note, or as a theorem, that I will not do the proof of this theorem, only the sums are essential from this topic. The proofs are again very simple, based on the logic. You can just go through it. I'll simply explain using the sums. Okay. So now, how to solve a reciprocal equation in the standard form? The answer is given like this. The solution of a reciprocal equation of the first type and of degree, suppose n of degree, so the degree is even, so it will be of the form 2m, right? Because the degree is of even, so it will be of the form 2m. So the solution of a reciprocal equation of first type and of degree 2m, that means the solution of the reciprocal equation in the standard form depends on that of an equation of degree m. So this is again important. I'll explain how this can be reduced to this while doing the sum. So remember that any reciprocal equation in the standard form having degree 2m, because the degree is even, depends on an equation of degree m. So to solve this, we have to solve an equation of degree m. Suppose if I give you a reciprocal equation of first type and of degree 4, suppose, then the solution will depend upon an equation of degree 2, because here it is 4, so half of this will be 2. So that means you have to just solve a quadratic equation As simple as that. So the first target is to solve a reciprocal equation in the standard form. That is the first type in even degree, and this will depend on this. I'll tell you how. And once you are done with that, once you have understood how to solve a reciprocal equation of first type and even degree, all of this will be simple enough, because all again can be converted into a reciprocal equation of in the standard form. Okay, we will see how. So let me solve this type today. I'll just do one or two sums according to the time that is left to us. So let's start with this one. I'll take some examples of reciprocal equation of first type and even degree. Okay, so let me write down the first question. Now if you note, this is a reciprocal equation of first type, because look at the first coefficient and last coefficient, they are same in magnitude as well as in sign. 35 and 35, and 62 is in the middle, so 62 is same as 62. So the first thing is to note that this is a reciprocal equation in the standard form. So this is clearly a reciprocal equation of first type and of even degree. That means it is already in the standard form. So please remember the steps that I am doing. So whenever it is in the standard form, these are the following steps that I will follow. So always remember, you can clearly see this equation is in the standard form because it is a first type. Why it is a first type? You can see the coefficients and of even degree. So please follow the steps that I am doing it now. So what are the steps? So what is the given equation? What is the given equation? The given equation is 6x to the power 4 plus 35x cube plus 62x square plus 35x plus 6 equals to 0. Okay. Now write these two. Write the first one and the last one together. Write the first one and last one together and take 6 common. What will they remain with? 6 into x to the power 4 plus 1. Right? Then write this and this two together. So take 35 common and x also common. So this will remain with x square plus 1. And lastly 62x square equals to 0. So you always remember the steps how to solve a reciprocal equation in standard form. So because it is of even degree and a first step, this is in the standard form, I am making you explain how to solve a reciprocal equation in standard form. So what you will do, you will take these two coefficients together, take this one together and take this one. Right. Now you divide by this power of x. That means you divide by x square. You have to just make here a number. Okay. What I'll do, I'm dividing by x square. So what we get, so we obtain, let's say we are dividing by x square. Try to understand my point. So 6, what will this become? X square plus 1 by x square. Right? I'm dividing by x square. So this will remain with, this will become x square because x to the power 4 by x square and 1 by x square. So I'm dividing by x square here. So 1 x will get cancelled with this one, and I have to divide this by x. Then 35 x plus 1 by x and 62. Am I clear up to here? Now you take this as t or any new variable. Suppose I am taking that as t equals to x plus 1 by x. This is nothing but t. This is nothing but t. So this can be expressed in terms of t. This is very easy. This is very easy. How can this be expressed in terms of t? Can anybody tell me what is the value of this in terms of t? This you have done in class 8 or 9. How to express if this is given to you, how to find this. Very good, correct? It's very simple to determine the value of this because you know, I'll just show it here. Okay, let me do it now. What we know, I'll square both sides. X plus 1 by x whole square equals to t square. This will give me x square plus, like apply the formula for a plus b whole square plus 2ab, that will simply remain with 2 because x and x will get cancelled. I'll remain with t. Gaurav, you are just very close, but not -1 but -2, right? So therefore x square plus 1 by x square is nothing but t square minus 2. So therefore what eventually do I have? I have, so I am taking this t, I'll express this in terms of t. So 6, this is what? T square minus 2 plus 35t plus 62 equals to 0. This is nothing but 6t square plus 35t plus 62 minus 12, right? 62 minus 12, that is nothing but how much? So that will become 50, right? So what I have told you, see, remember that this will depend upon, if this is of degree 2m, it will depend upon the equation of degree m. So here 2m is 4, so m will be 2. It will depend upon a polynomial of degree 2. That means you have to just solve this polynomial or solve this equation, and so that it will help to solve the original equation. So I have called that t, and that has been reduced to half the degree of the original equation. Half the degree of the original equation. So you can easily solve this. Solve this one. So you can again take 2 common definitely. So this will become, oh sorry, 2 is not common. No, nothing is common. No. I cannot take anything common. Nothing is common. So solve this quadratic. You can use the method of factorization only. If you are not able to do it using the method of factorization, you can do it using the Sridharacharya's method, the quadratic formula. I hope it can be solved using the method of factorization. 50 into 6 is 300. So this can be written as 6t square plus 20t plus 15t plus 50 equals to 0. Take things common and just complete the sum. So from the first two, what is common? T is common and 2 is common. Please do it by yourself. So you'll get like this, and let's solve this. This is very simple. So this is t equals to minus 10 by 3 or minus 5 by 2. So this is the values of t that I have obtained. So now what we know, when t equals to minus 10 by 3, when t equals to minus 10 by 3, that is, so what was t? T was x plus 1 by x. So you have to again solve this quadratic. That means x square plus 1 equals to minus 10 by 3x. So that will become how much? 3x square plus 10x plus 3 equals to 0. You can easily solve this quadratic. 3 3 is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10. So after solving this, you'll get here x equals to minus 3 comma minus 1 by 3, and when
9 and 1.
Yeah, so t equals 9 and no
9 and 1.
no
No, sir.
yeah, definitely.
It will be like 6 means
that I already done, minus 3 and minus 1 by 3, right? And after you solve this quadratic, you will get this one. Simplifying is 2x square plus 5x plus 2 equals to 0. So sorry, it will be, I made a mistake.
Plus 4 it should be.
Just hold on. So this is clearly 4 plus 1. I hope you should get like this. X equals to minus 2 comma minus 1 by 2, right? You should get like this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what are the solution to the original equation then? These are the 4 solutions to the original equation, and I was expecting 4 solution just due to the fact that it was a polynomial, it was an equation of degree 4. So hence the roots are minus 3 minus 1 by 3 minus 2. And you see, Gaurav, that you said that 9 and 1. 9 and 1 is not a possibility because it is a reciprocal equation. Don't forget the definition of the reciprocal equation. The reciprocal of each of the roots should also be a root. So the roots are this. Just check whether the reciprocal of each of the roots are also the root. What is the reciprocal of this? Minus 1 by 3, which is always there, which is also there. The reciprocal of this is minus 3, it is also a root. Minus 2, the reciprocal is minus 1 by 2, that is also a root. The reciprocal of this is minus 2, which is also a root. That means this is that was actually a reciprocal equation, and you can see what are the roots. If your roots are coming from something else like 5 comma 2 and something else, then it will that means your solution is wrong definitely, because the roots must be the reciprocal. The reciprocal should also be the root of the original equation. Am I clear? So that's all for today. We will do more type of sums or more remaining types in the next class. Okay. Thank you.